All right. Thank you for coming to my No Name Show podcast. My name is Lauren, and I do not want the commitment of having a topic, a timeline, an editor, the pressure of putting things out weekly and trying to build this massive following. I want to put out as much value as I can when it feels right because it's well researched, it's from experience, I have good stories, and I'm not going to ask you to subscribe because you're going to do it naturally if you like this stuff. So, today I want to talk about time. And I want to talk about time in the sense of indecision, of wasting time, and the feeling that you have once you've made the decision. And I think it's easy to say that we all know time is a finite resource. And when you think about money, you can make all the money back that you want and then some. But every second that you spend doing something like, oh, I shouldn't have been doing that for 20 minutes, that is something you cannot ever get back. And so once you understand that time is the one thing that you have to be extremely mindful and intentional about how you spend it, life will change. And I love this topic so much because if you don't know how you spend your time or you feel like you waste a lot of time every day, you can do a time audit for yourself. And this is just a very simple spreadsheet, logging every 15 minutes, go back throughout the day, see where you kind of jerked around, and you can fix it. Excuse me. So when you have wasted time, you are losing time to procrastination, to fear, and distraction. And I would say each one of those is the umbrella category for what it is that you want to accomplish, but you just don't think that you can. Or, oh, I'm going to start it tomorrow. And yeah, you can start it tomorrow if you're actually going to start it tomorrow. Otherwise, every single day, you're simply saying, I'm going to start it tomorrow, and then you don't ever start it. And that's where you realize that time steals your potential. Because if you have the ability to take action as soon as like right now, and you choose not to, then you are simply delaying your goals and it diminishes your self confidence and it keeps you comfortable. And when you're comfortable, you are stuck in this mediocrity. And this is a simple mask. You are the only person who knows what you want to do. Anytime that your brain is fantasizing about the future, about your love life, about a vacation, about being on stage and singing like Taylor Swift in front of 77,000 people in an arena, that is where you want to be if you didn't put yourself in a cage. If your parents didn't put you in a cage, if you didn't care about what people thought of you. By the way, that's like my major dream. And when you give yourself permission to think big, I know at least, I always feel silly saying it out loud because whatever it is that I want, it's going to still feel silly to somebody else. They're going to hear it and be like, what? Why would you want that? And you have to be so confident in what it is that you want that you take the action to get there and you don't let anybody influence or waver your opinion on how you're going to get there and that you're going to get there. And so I want to give 3 very simple, tangible takeaways for how to stop wasting time today. So this is my favorite one. I implemented this about 10 years ago. Tip number 1, stop meaningless texting. Oh my gosh. When I cut this out of my day, because I would text and then get back to work and text and get back to work. And I know you guys have Snapchat now, so maybe that is quicker, but it's not. What it does is it's a distraction. It's meaningless. It's your hit of dopamine that you want. It's your escape from reality or from work, or from school because you don't want to be there. And instead of being focused on the task at hand, you keep having the distraction, you keep getting pulled away. Well, it takes 17 to 21 minutes to get back on track. So if you are constantly having an all-day conversation through text message or Snapchat, rather than just one catch-up call for 20 minutes over your lunch break, think about how many things you are not getting done. And I don't care if I'm talking about housework. If you want to be focused, put your effing phone down. And I say this so direct without sugarcoating it because we are all extremely addicted to our phones. And your phone is meant to be a distraction. Every single notification that you have is trying to pull your attention to that app because they need you there. And once they have you there, then we'll use social media. We will use social media as an example, which leads us into the next one. Exercise discipline. Stop scrolling. Stop living other people's lives. If you need to scroll, get on and do it. I get on Instagram or Facebook or LinkedIn with a mission. And that mission is to do what I need to do and get right off. I have eliminated scrolling. I have eliminated meaningless text. And it is just such a change. It's such a positive change because I'm able to spend more time and be focused on the tasks that I need to be focused on. Now, it might be different for you than it is for me because I have my own business and I can't afford to have the luxury of having all these mini distractions all day. So maybe this is something that you'll take into the future. Number 3, this might be my favorite. Have a list and name it what to do when you don't know what to do. And that can be simple stuff, cleaning out your garage, cleaning out your closet, working on a side project that you want to get done and you keep thinking, oh, I don't have time. But we all know that we have those moments throughout the day or the week. And you're like, oh my gosh, nobody needs my attention. My phone's not ringing. My cats or my kids are good. My significant other doesn't need me. What do I do with myself right now? For me, I want to go to a bar and get a damn drink. That's what I want to do. But there's a time and a place for that, right? So 3 things to implement right now: stop meaningless texting, exercise discipline, and have a list called what to do when you don't know what to do. I feel like that's the perfect thing on the planet. So I want you to think of wasting time like this. I'm okay trading a piece of my life for something that doesn't matter. And that trade, repeated over days, becomes your default existence. And then all of a sudden, months, maybe years go by, and you have nothing to show for it. And when you think about it like that, because I know every single person listening to this is able to think of a time, and we're going to go to the very common and relatable topic of dating or relationships. When you are in a relationship that you don't want to be in, what's step number 1? You are checking in with yourself. Maybe you're trying to make it work. Maybe you're talking to your friends. You're really trying to figure out what is that decision? Like, what's changed? Why do I not want to be in this relationship anymore? Well, once you make that decision is made with yourself. The second part of that is having the conversation with your significant other to get out of it. And let me tell you from experience, that timeline is typically a minimum of 6 months, minimum. You go through this breakup silently in your head while still being with this person, and you're still going through the motions, and you're still acting as if you're in a relationship when on the inside, you are done. You are dead. This person no longer means anything to you, but you're still acting like it because you're too scared to have the conversation. And this leads me to indecision and how it ties in with time. So I believe that indecision is more than just the inability to decide. I believe it's actually a 2-step process. The first thing is that you're going to have to make that decision, which every person has the ability to make the decision. If you have a scale, one is going to feel light and one is going to feel heavy. And whichever one it is, light or heavy, you know exactly what you want to do. You're going to naturally and automatically gravitate to the decision that you want. And if you don't have the guts, the huevos, to admit it to yourself, then it's going to turn into this looming thought. It's going to be in your head. It's going to be a feeling in your heart, in your soul, in your gut. And it's just going to be this reoccurring thing that keeps popping up. And you're like, oh my gosh, I need to break up with him. Oh my gosh, I need to break up with him. Oh my gosh, like, he's grossing me out. I don't want to be with him. All these things that are giving you all the signs everywhere that we're not supposed to be together anymore. So indecision is really the next step, which is step 2, which is taking that decision and having the conversation with the person that you need to have it with. The person who is involved in this decision, if it's more than just you, is the reason why people stay stuck. And that is a very scary thought because nothing lasts forever. So you're not going to be in this miserable relationship forever. At some point, it's going to come to a head. And when it does, and let's say that you're the one that finally decides to have the courage because now you are completely done with the relationship. We've got 6 months of gnawing on it, thinking about it, becoming used to being single again and what my life is going to be like. And maybe you've been looking at apartments behind this person's back. You're ready to go. So by the time you have this conversation, it's not news to you. It is 6 months old or longer. Now it's news to the other person. But when you say it, you are like instantly relieved. And now you're thinking, this wasn't so hard. I don't know why I wasted so long. And then you look in the rearview mirror and you're thinking to yourself, so I wasted 6 months trying to have that conversation. And I wasted X amount of months or years trying to get to the decision. And once you do it, the first thing that happens is you have regret for not doing it sooner because it's actually not as hard as you thought it was going to be. And that, my friends, is my spiel on time. And the reason why I want to talk about this and why it's so important to me is because this flows into so many different areas of your life, right? Like we all have those friends who we've been friends with forever, but you guys have gone in different directions. Like there's just no overlap anymore, but you liked them for who they were and when they were supposed to be in your life. And that's okay. Or maybe you're trying to like make a new friend or go on that date, or you're at work now. And every single time you spend a long period of time with somebody, you feel drained after, you don't like them. Maybe they talk at you and you're just sitting there and you're like, okay, why do you need me when you could just talk to the wall and you don't need me. I'm not here. I'm not doing anything. You're doing everything, right? There's all types of people out there. And just because somebody asks you to do something, it doesn't mean that you have to do it. And my mom always told me that. She's like, you don't have to give a reason for why you don't want to do something. You simply say, thank you for the invite. I can't make it. I came up with my own because I felt that if you say I can't make it, I felt that people would still trample over it because people want what they want from you. So the line I came up with was, thank you so much. This does not align with my goals. Nobody has ever given me a hard time or talk shit to me. In fact, it opens a whole new set of questions of what are you working on and how can I be a part of that? And now they want to help you and support you and put you in touch with the people to get you there. And they want to be a part of your life in a way that's more beneficial to you instead of you going to dinner, lunch, coffee, whatever, and like listening to them talk at you or listening to them talk and gossip or BS with you. And you're like, oh my gosh, there are so many other things I'd rather be doing, including watching paint dry, right? And that is a muscle in and of itself that you need to learn to exercise, which is a whole different topic, but it boils down to setting your boundaries to make sure that your time and your energy are protected. So I don't know when the next video will come out, but thank you for watching. If you did, I appreciate it. My name is Lauren. And if there's any topics that you're interested, I am always happy to see what you have to say. And if I can speak to it, I will. So thank you so much for being here.